Welcome back to Kingdom Cast. It's your host, Bad Luck Chuck. We are back at it for part three of the 2021 season review. But man, there's a lot of rumors and weird stuff going on this week throughout Chiefs Kingdom, man, throughout the Chiefs organization in general. But we're gonna cover all of that before we get into part three as we get going to weeks 9 through 13. But technically there's a bye week in between there, so we won't really cover a bye week. So but before we get into all that, I'd like to introduce to the top right hand corners my guy Country, and the bottom of the screen is my guy Boogie. So, fellas, man, we got a lot to talk about. Let's go and get through it, man. Let's go and get through this nonsense. The latest in regards to Patrick Mahomes, we had a former Patriots offensive lineman talking about he got word that Patrick Mahomes told Brittany and Jackson, which is the fiance and little brother, that they can't attend any more Chiefs games from here on out. I don't know if it was for next season or just the rest of his career. I don't know, but that's ridiculous as heck. Because Patrick Mahomes yesterday had to deal with the nonsense going on when the cameras was on him and Brittany courtside at the Texas Tech Baylor game, and Patrick had to come out and say that people are weird. Love you, babe. And then Brittany said, "I love you more." So it's just nonsense. So why it's just like why would Patrick tell Brittany and Jackson that after he said what he said on Twitter, man? It's just people are just being weird about their relationship, man. It's like they want him to pull a Russell Wilson and have him find his own Sierra, man. I don't know. What you guys think about that, man? We'll start with you, Bud. What you think about the nonsense in regards to that?
It's just crazy, man. I guess that's just what it is when you got that best quarterback now. But it's just, man, they wasn't on Brady like this, man. Like this shit is fucking. In 1 week, this shit,
One week.
like this shit, all summer with this shit. This shit. Matter of fact, because remember last week they was talking about the picture. Was it Barstool? I think they was talking about he was enjoying Vegas.
Oh yeah, that was
Like
ridiculous too. I'm like,
every week is something like, man, he really is the face of the NFL now, man. It's crazy. But that shit's it's ridiculous, bro. Like they watching his every sentence, every word when he on the sideline. You don't know what they talking about. It, they just overblowing shit. It's crazy. I hope he don't leave KC because of this type of shit. I know people say it'll happen anywhere, but man, Chiefs fans, they annoying as hell sometimes, man. That shit crazy. I don't know.
yeah, Country. What you got on this, man?
I mean, I guess this is price of fame. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit annoying. So I imagine if it's annoying for us, I know it's irritating to him and his family. I think they have to be more cautious of what they're doing out in the street. You know what I'm saying? So no incidents, no drunk driving, no acting a fool in parties and all that stuff. You got to. I bet he probably went to them and said, "Yo, y'all gotta chill." You know what I'm saying? Like no incidents, no restaurants and bars coming at us, and we throwing shots on Twitter or pouring water on people. Like, okay, y'all had y'all fun, chill, because he is the face of the NFL. He is. So everything he's doing is gonna be cameras. It's gonna be attention. It's gonna be people hating. It's gonna be people loving him. You know what I'm saying? So you can't come back to Arrowhead is a bit harsh. Like that's a bit much. I don't believe that.
What
I
did they
believe he
do?
probably, huh?
What was the incidents why people even saying they can't come back though? What happened?
I
Oh
think
man,
it was just like
it's
over the season stuff that was happening. But it, I mean, Jackson is what 21.
I think he might be a little.
Brittany is Pat is
Oh
26.
dang.
Brittany's about 24, 25. Bro, they young still. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't tell them just to be in the house and be robots. They not like that. You know what I'm saying? And they not used to the spotlight either like that. Like, but I bet he told him, like, chill out, you know what I'm saying, no incidents. We'll stay away from the media. We're not going to invite no criticism, and we're not going to give no criticism. But as far as you can't go to the game, I don't think he ever said nothing like that. That's crazy. If Pat can put it down like that, then Pat is a hell of a guy. And tell his wife, you can't go to the game.
That's ridiculous, man. I mean, that's like Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson. Like Tony Romo never said that to Jessica Simpson, but every time the Cowboys lost, they put the blame on Jessica Simpson or whatever. It's like it's reaching those type of levels, and it's just getting out of hand, man. Like
That's
kind of.
Bro, that's where we at though. That's society right now. That everything has to be monitored, everything is being watched, everything is being talked about. And especially on Twitter, it's always the negative of it. It's not the positive. It's not the HBCU thing he's doing, where he put money back into that, and they got their All-Star game, and he put money into that. Nobody's talking about that.
Right.
All they talk about is Brittany making funny faces at the game. Like, what are you supposed to do at the game? At least she paying attention.
And
you know what I'm saying? Beyonce don't be paying attention at the game.
like she was talking to a friend, dog. I think she was talking to a friend or somebody she knew when she made those funny faces. They was having a conversation about something.
Bro,
that's why she was making those faces.
It's a bit much, bro. It's starting. It's not LeBron level. And don't even start, Charles. It's not LeBron level. But he might be top 5 right now. Like, most watched, most looked at, most dissected. Patrick Mahomes is in that conversation. It's not LeBron level because LeBron been there for 20 years, 15 years, and that's being generous. You know what I'm saying? So
year 19.
This might be the lifestyle for him for the next 10 years. Long as he keep putting up numbers and winning, I don't care what he do. Long as he ain't getting in trouble, long as he ain't drunk driving and doing stupid stuff that's embarrassing. I mean, keep doing what we doing, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Kyle? Welcome back. But yeah,
Kyle,
I agree with you
though. Yo, safe travels to Kylie, man. She's going out of town. She's celebrating her anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and Nick, I think his name is. Or you and your guy. We ain't gonna put your business out there.
Well, you already said it. You already said the guy's name, so.
I think I just put his name. My bad, bro.
You already said it. You already said it, bro. But yeah, happy anniversary to those two, man. 5 years strong. Salute to them.
Yeah,
salute.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro. TMZ coming out saying, "Yo, nah, they didn't do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you even know that? You would have to be Jackson, Brittany, or Pat or his mom or his dad or whoever is in his inner circle to know that they had a conversation and Pat came to them like, "Yo, chill out." Like, how would you even get that information?
Just like Cal said, Barstool, man. Barstool been on this shit.
Only thing I like about Barstool is Gilly the Kid and Wallow. That's it. $1 million worth of game. The rest of that, who cares? That's just one story that we have to do with this week. Been a crazy week, man.
Oh man, it doesn't stop there, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get through this BS Eric Bieniemy article that we had to read. That was all of a sudden deleted later on. But I keep the info. You know what I'm saying? I keep the info. Because I knew it was gonna come to that point.
Let me go get my popcorn. Hold
on. So yeah, shout out to _Chiefs Kingdom. These guys, they ran the Save Our Chiefs account at the time when Pioli and Ty Haley and Matt Castle were here, and they was running the franchise into the ground. And I was rocking with those guys during that time because it was hell. Those times were hell. Like, we had that one playoff appearance, but after that, man, it turned into an ugly 2-14 season, and it reached a breaking point. Like, look, man, Pioli got to go. Matt Castle can't be our quarterback anymore. Scott Pioli, he's not the guy for the job to be the GM. But besides all that, they go through their little introduction during this article and everything about how they get their sources and the information. They got, they know people that work inside the Arrowhead Stadium, all this other stuff. But the first thing that stood out to me was that, when Eric Bieniemy gone through his interviews, he said there's no racism involved as to why he's not getting it hired. They're saying Eric Bieniemy rushed his interviews and it's more performance based, which I think is nonsense. I'm sorry, but you've seen all the stuff that's gone on with since Brian Flores came out and trying to sue the NFL now. The number of black coaches is now down to two. And Mike Tomlin was like the only real black coach, really, because Lovie Smith, let me tell you guys this. He ain't that type of brother, man. He's a different type of brother. And that's what I heard from residents in Chicago. People that I know in Chicago. So take that for what it's worth. But anyway,
Hey, Chuck, hold on, Chuck. And Bieniemy interviewed with the Saints for 8 hours, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that happened. And then and at the end of the day, they felt like Dennis Allen had the better plan. But Dennis Allen, he's 8-28 overall as a head coach. 2-4-12 seasons. Started out 0-4 in his third season before he got fired in week 5. But he has a better plan. I know he's been there for a while, but he has a better plan. But anyway, yeah. After that, they go into Chris. I'm not about to go it. I'm not about to say all that. I'm not
I
about to
didn't
say
read the
all
whole
that.
comment.
But just know, bro. Anyway, Airbnb signed they go into Airbnb signed a 1-year deal, a 1-year extension after the Super Bowl 55 loss. They added responsibility, according to this little contract, saying Airbnb has more control of the play calling and, he's got added responsibility and all of that. But my thing is this though. They said that his demeanor changed after that, but there may be some truth to that because you don't want to just have a 1-year extension after that. You want to make sure you have that security moving forward. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Like we're not in the locker rooms every day. We don't have access like that and everything. But at the end of the day, EB's always been like this old school tough guy anyway. You know what I mean? He's there to try to help you improve as a football player, help you become the best football player possible, and not necessarily, be a friend. He'll be cool with you, but he wants to get the best out of you as a football player. Anyway, they go into this whole, AB talking about Mahomes being a competitive prick, saying his little quotes about that, which was all positive. You know what I mean? He was saying how Patrick Mahomes wants to always be the best, wants to improve his game and everything. So that's what you want out of your best players, just to get better every day and get better year by year. So, but the things reared its ugly head in the 2020 regular season. Between Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes, they had disagreements with the game plan, in certain games, and then all of a sudden, it just reared its ugly head like from time to time. The helmet. They said the helmet got chaotic and everything, and that was part of the reason why the Chiefs, after they little first 15 plays or whatever, that's part of the reason why they kept stalling, here and there on certain drives. But despite all of that, the Chiefs still put up, top 5 offensive numbers and everything. They still is one of the best teams in the AFC.
Hold on, let's break down the first part. Let's break down the part a little bit before you get too far.
Okay.
Him signing a 1-year deal and then coming back frustrated. That's the part I think is true because I feel like who wouldn't be frustrated after you interviewed at that point, 10 times or 12 times? You keep getting passed over.
So 15.
And you seen that, well, he don't call plays. Well, Nagy didn't call plays. Peterson didn't call plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all these other lesser individuals that don't have near the resume that you have getting hired. So if he came in that next year frustrated, isn't he a human? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you be frustrated if I've been working at my job 10 years and then the new guy off the street not only comes in and takes my job, but now he's getting promoted before me and we doing the same type of we doing the same thing and putting out the same production. We should put out the same quality of work, but I've been doing it longer. You know what I'm saying? So frustration, that part, I understand that, and I agree with that. I agree that part is probably true. Eric Berry was calling plays after the first 15. We've been asking all year, what's the difference between the first 15 and the rest of the game? Now, even if he was calling the plays, which he might have been calling the plays, which a lot of people say he was never calling the plays, right? So if he was calling the plays, you got to give him the respect of the success of those plays, and then you got to look at the execution of those plays. It don't matter. I can call the best play ever. If you don't execute it, it don't matter. You feel me? So that's another thing. What's the third part? Okay, go ahead, because I just wanted to talk about those points before we get too far down the road and we forget.
Oh no, you're good, bro. Yeah, we've all wondered, like, which part of the game EB calls and which part of it is Andy Reid's. But at the end of the day, Andy Reid's the head coach. He can override some stuff. You know what I mean? We
Right.
just don't know. We just don't know the exact percentage of plays that EB calls or the exact percentage of plays that Andy Reid calls. But I think for the first 15, it's got to be Andy Reid. Just based on his resume, his cachet, and everything. So.
But look, even on that though, the first 15, if we believe what Andy says, it's a combination of Reed, EB, Kafka. Who else was involved in that? Probably Dave told they like it was a collective, right? You feel what I'm saying?
I'm sure Pat has some input too.
And sure, Pat had some input in that too. So even that ain't totally. At the end of the day, some fans believe it's always Andy Reid. It's 100% Andy Reid. That's what fans have led us to believe. So to find out that it's not just all Andy Reid, which it shouldn't be. Like, he shouldn't be doing everything. Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's another point. So I kind of believe that. I don't believe that he had total 100% calling of the plays, but I believe he was involved in the setup and the game plan. So, all right, let's go. Next point.
All right, so we go into this season. This article mentioned how the Chiefs started out poorly in 2021. We all seen that the defensive schemes were, misaligned, cats were in the wrong spots. Mahomes and EB not getting along. It really reared its ugly head after the Bills lost. They got to arguments after that, and I believe those two, and Mike Kafka had a meeting, and Eric Bieniemy got on Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if it was about a certain play or a certain throw he made, but I guess Andy Reid might have overheard and had to break those guys up or whatever. After that, Mike Kafka got involved with the game plan. After that, the offense still didn't click all the way, but it was making little bitty strides. You know what I mean? There were certain moments to where you felt like the offense was gonna start humming again, and eventually did.
Okay, all right. So to break down that point, offense wasn't clicking right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mind you, we just got a completely new offensive line. At that point, it was Liang was new, Tony was new, Brown was new, Trey was a rookie, and Creed was a rookie. So
yeah, everybody was new.
We didn't expect them to come out dominating. You know what I'm saying? They were not the line that we finished with. It's not the line we started with. That's okay. So that's okay. I believe that too. So it's frustration with the line and how they playing. They're young. They got to gel. They got to come together. It's frustration with the plays. This is the point that that wasn't brought up. Do you think it was too many people in the headset? Should have been. If it shouldn't be EB, Kafka, Reed all talking in it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's confusing. Like if Chuck is running the play and me and Boogie in there, like, yo, run left, right, blue, right, 2, Z flag. You know what I'm saying? Like, we at the same time, and we only got 15 seconds. You gonna be on the field like, bro, what? You feel me? Like, did that raise an eyebrow to you? Because that raised an eyebrow to me. Like, maybe it's too many people in the headset.
Yeah, but Low Radar just said it in the comments. He said too many cooks in the kitchen. So yeah, you're right on
Exactly.
point with
Yeah.
that.
I
So
feel
yeah,
that.
like in the NFL, they normally supposed to normally only one head coach or one coach in general is allowed to go into the headset, but the NFL don't really check for that.
Right. Okay,
But yeah,
so
that's too chaotic.
let me ask y'all right now. So far, where we at? What part do y'all feel like Eric Berry, Eric Bieniemy is wrong? Have y'all picked up to this point to where you at? How do you feel? Do you feel like Bieniemy is in the wrong at this point?
I mean, I don't think he's in the wrong, man. I think EB is just. I mean, the whole lashing out to Mahomes. I don't know how serious it got and everything, but I think BNB was just showing Patrick what he needed to correct on, and they had a little disagreement, whatever, and it just boiled up. You know what I mean? I think EB was just really just trying to coach Mahomes up in that situation. So
Okay, fair. But you know what? After the Buffalo game, me and Boogie got into it and was yelling and had to be separated, right?
yeah,
Everybody was frustrated after that game.
Yeah, they should have been, right?
Exactly. I haven't, and to this point, when you breaking down this article, I haven't seen anything that Eric Bieniemy is wrong about yet. We'll see. We'll see if we get there. But we all were mad after the Buffalo game. We should have been. I'm glad the coach was mad after the Buffalo game.
Yeah, that's to me, that shit's normal, man. I mean, they gonna be getting it. I mean, this shit's not gonna be perfect. It's a job too, bro. I mean,
Right. A
they make it seem
stressful
like
job.
everybody is just best friends, the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. I mean, if they got into it a couple times during the year, so what? To me, I mean, Bill
yeah,
O'Brien was getting into it with Tom Brady. He went and got a job after that, right?
Yeah. And apparently Bruce Arians is getting to it with Tom Brady. That's led to help Tom Brady retire. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just the rumor, but all right, go ahead, bro.
yeah, because like during their Super Bowl championship run, during the bye week, Tom Brady had to reel Bruce Arians in and like, look, like I can't be throwing deep all the time. I'm over 40 years
Yep.
old. We got to run some of this Patriot stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you want to be successful, you want this ring, you gotta run some of this stuff moving forward.
And
And
he
the adjustment was
delivered.
made. So there we go. All right. So after that, the Chiefs got on a little roll. The Sunday night game in Las Vegas comes up. Andy Reid told the NBC production team allegedly that to cut down EB's camera time because I guess during the week, Eric Bieniemy might have got into it with a player or a coach. They didn't. This article didn't specify, the player or the coach or anything, but it was like another incident involving EB. So anyway, after that, it goes into this article goes into Chiefs fans who have attended games on the road or in Arrowhead Stadium. They've noticed, whenever Patrick Mahomes goes to the sideline and he chops it over EB. They get into it about certain plays and whatnot. And they wonder why those two aren't getting along. So I found that to be interesting, and it goes back to what we said earlier. Mention, you know, families they fight. You know what I mean? Families fight all the time. I'm sure each one of us have got into it with like our sibling or like got into a disagreement with our parents. You know what I mean? Even though they discipline our asses afterwards. But those type of things happen. Now, how frequent it was, this article made it seem like it was more frequent than what it has been in the past. But anyway, as we
But okay, but hold on.
wait,
We got the Tom Brady throwing the laptop incident.
yep, yep,
I was watching NFL today, and they had the one where Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday got into it. You just block. That's
yep,
what you do. And they was
yep.
arguing and all that stuff. Like, that's normal. Tom Brady got into it with Josh McDaniels all the time. I'm trying to figure out what he did wrong to this point. To this point, all that stuff sounds like a human who cares about football and is passionate. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, exactly. And I'm gonna get into that later on. Get into his passion and everything about the mislabeling in regards to him. But as the article continues, there was a source from an unnamed family member of one of the Chiefs players. They said that they claimed that most of the players tune out EB due to him not accepting feedback from players, which is part of the reason why he hasn't been hired as a head coach, which I still believe that's nonsense, in my opinion. And then like EB has a little temperament too, you know, but some of these other but here's my thing with EB's temperament. You hear about these white head coaches, mainly the ones that are successful, they have temperament. They show some temper, and they don't really point that out. They point it out like it's just normal. You know what I mean? It's your normal coaching, your normal head coaching, all that stuff. But when it comes to like the black head coaches, when he shows a little passion or whatever, it's like, oh, he's an angry black man. He's got a bad attitude and all that other stuff. But that's besides the point, man. This article continues. It talks a little bit about his interview with the Denver Broncos. The GM asked EB about a certain situation that involved him and the team, like on the sidelines and stuff. And like his answer allegedly got removed from consideration. But um, what's it? I forgot his name, man. Albright. Yeah, Albright. Okay, so yeah, Ben Albright. He diffused that situation real quick. He was like, it was not true. It was made up and everything. So, but now we go into the 9 second sequence right before the half of the AFC Championship game. Um,
Before we get there, the only problem I see so far is if he doesn't take input from his players, that's a problem. That's not a good trait for a head coach. But to counter that argument, EB, do we have time to run wasp? That
and he let
that,
him run
that sounds
Wasp.
like input from a player. You feel me? You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
or or you know what I'm saying? Travis Kelsey changing the play in the Buffalo game. That sounds like input from players. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing.
No, I'm glad you pointed those examples out because I looked at that. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't think that's all the way true either because of those examples you just mentioned right there. Maybe sometimes he probably be like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I appreciate your inputters. You know what I
And
mean?
and to be fair, I think we all seen that either call the player or I will. We seen that moment. I think it was a Denver game.
Yep.
It might have been a Denver game.
Yep. It
So
was.
we have seen that moment. So do we know why he said that? Is it because of the issues in the headset, or
But we know Andy Reid always got bad clock management, bro. Like for his career, we know he's had a problem with that. So I mean,
yeah?
Yep.
So
Yep. Exactly.
so AFC title game where it all came to a head, I guess.
Yeah. So the 9 second sequence before the half for halftime. We was rolling. You know what I mean? We was scoring pretty much every time we got the ball up until that point. Now, this is when things got a little chaotic. Okay, so there was like five different Airbnb and Andy Reid had like five plays to choose from. You know what I mean? When it was 9 seconds left, and right when it got down to 5 seconds, you know, there was I think there was some confusion with as far as like the timeouts. Patrick Mahomes thought there was a timeout left. This article claims that EB told Patrick Mahomes he had a timeout left, and he was like, you run this play, kick the field goal, whatever. And this article also claimed that Andy Reid did not call did not call those plays. But if I'm not mistaken, Andy Reid said after the game that he may have sent in the wrong play to Patrick or whatever. So um, I'm having a hard time believing that EB had full control in that situation. So long story short, The play fails. Patrick swings it out the Tyreek Hill, comes up short. No timeouts left. So after that, Tyreek Hill, you see Tyreek Hill as he walks to the locker room. You hear the audio on NFL film saying, "Man, we gotta get points in that situation." Frustrated and everything. And then, according to this article, Mahomes and EB get into an argument in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I guess like a little shout match or whatever. Andy Reid and coaches had to break that up. And then I also see I seen like one of the comments on Twitter saying that this guy claims that he knows somebody that was in the Chiefs locker room, claims that the locker room was really just fine, like it wasn't no big spat. But as you clearly watch the game when the second half began, you see the sideline was had completely different demeanor, man. Like Kast was just looking like zombies, looking dead, like you could just kind of tell that something had happened in the locker room after we didn't get no points at the halftime. Like
Well,
you didn't see that.
McCall and Tyreek got into it on the sidelines. It was ugly, bro. Something happened.
Yep, and then you didn't see Patrick Mahomes be the leader that he usually is, because you remember the Detroit game when we got to a rough start and we kept putting the ball on the turf, and then there's a soundbite of him like telling the guys to settle down. We could do something special. Just do your part. One play at a time. Typical Patrick Mahomes. Rah, he gets out of his guys. You know what I mean?
Didn't
We
have one
saw
of
none of
those
that.
speeches.
We
We
saw
did not
none of
have
that from
one of those
Patrick.
speeches this game, did we?
No, we saw none of that from Patrick, man. Patrick's just looking all down, just like I don't know, man. It was ridiculous.
So here's my problem. Pat got to know if the play's not there. Who I blame the person that didn't know we lost that timeout on the challenge. That person needs to be held accountable. If that was EB, he needs to be held accountable. If that was Andy Reid, he needs to be held accountable because Patrick clearly didn't know we didn't have no timeouts because he called timeout immediately after Tyreek was tackled.
Well, he should get held accountable too, right?
He should know too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
All three of them should know in that situation we don't have any timeouts. I think in that play, Pat should know that's not going to work. I'm going to throw it away. We only got 5 seconds. You should be aware of timing, place and field, and what down you on. He should know all that. You know what I'm saying? So the play didn't work. I just don't get, even if they got into a shout match, football, emotions, passion, that happens. I'm looking a little shaky at Andy Reid for not squashing that and getting it back on the field. You gotta squash that and we did not have a timeout, Caleb. We lost the timeout because we called a timeout before the challenge. We won the challenge. We were not given the timeout back. So we did lose the timeout. But this is my problem with Andy, EB, and Pat. Just because you got into it in the locker room, bro, don't mean we got a whole nother half of football left. Whole 30 minutes. We dominate this game. Okay, we didn't score at halftime. We should be up 24 or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? We still in control of this game. Let's keep this going. Let's not get too crazy. But whatever outburst it was, and then they say one of the linemen stood up and addressed the team, and I don't know where that's coming from. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things. It's possible. Because when I heard it, I was like, that sounds like Tony. It was a quiet dude that normally never talk, and then he decided to stand up and address. That sounds like him. You know what I'm saying? So but even then, bro, we had a whole half of the game left.
Yeah.
You gotta shake that off, baby. You can't be because that makes Pat sound sensitive.
Yeah,
that
man.
took you out of the game, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
We were down 24 to what in Houston, and Pat had a big old speech. We've all seen the speech. He talked to everybody on the bench. Go out and do what you do. They're going to talk and they're going to say all this stuff. We going to go out and do what we do every single play. It was none of that. Where was that speech at? We needed it.
Yeah, it was just strange, bro. It
It
was
was
all
a
the way
weird
strange.
game. It was a weird game. And,
But
and,
yeah,
and go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It's just
but
there's so many pieces of this thing that you can dissect. I believe most of this. I believe most of the article. It's just some things just sound like nah, and then some things concern me. Like y'all got into it enough, and he said enough to make you so mad that you didn't want to play for the rest of the game. What do you do? Talk about your mama? That don't sound good.
it don't. And like once I get through all this, man, I'm definitely gonna go in on each party in regards to this, man, because they
Oh,
need
go
to hear
ahead,
it.
bro. I'm slowing you down. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Nah, you good, man. Um, but you know what? I want to laugh real quick because you remember the sequence we just talked about with Andy, EB, Kafka, and Pat Mahomes as far as like the chaoticness with their helmets, his dirtness. It was a funny ass tweet, man. He said Andy called the TD play. EB's like, nah, kneel it. Kafka's like, shit, I left the oven on. Mahomes is like, it's pronounced Jif.
What?
he
I get it.
he was mocking that whole sequence with the helmet, helmet
Yeah,
communication and stuff.
that was
That was
another
funny.
crazy thing. That goes back to the point. Like, why why is Kafka and the mic and Andy and EB and Pat that's too many people in the mic. That's too many
Way
people.
way too much, man.
Way too many
So
people. Nobody come to hear you, Otis.
okay, so okay, so like during that second half, Eric Bieniemy basically had a my way or the highway moment in regards to calling plays in the second half. But my thing is this: in the second half, EB called some plays in which I saw McCole Hartman get open like about, let's say, 3 times. I can forgive me if I got the number wrong, but 3 times I saw McCole Hartman get open, and Patrick Mahomes didn't hit him. You know what I mean, or didn't see him, which is very odd. Normally, Patrick Mahomes don't make those mistakes or misreads like that. It was very odd. It's odd. It's like he went back to what he was doing throughout the first 7 weeks of the season. It was very strange. But after that, man. So
I
I
got
just
one
I just
more point on that too, bro. They said, well, EB came and he was calling plays for D-Rob and stuff. Okay,
yeah.
when a Reed play, how many Andy Reid plays have one option on them? Uh, Not many,
I,
right?
yeah,
And
if any.
D-Rob could be your number one option. But I know Tyreek got to be an option. Travis need to be an option. You know what I'm saying? If he's not blocking or depending on the scheme, but I doubt that you running plays where Demarcus Robinson is the only option on the play.
Well, it sure seemed like when Patrick threw that interception in the second half, like the first one, because D-Rod was the target on that play, and he was clearly double covered. So
It's cool that he's the target, but that don't mean you got to throw to him.
right,
I
but
don't
it
have no
literally looked
problem
nowhere
with him
else.
being the target. And
My
then
big
Pat scrambles like run your drill. You know what you do. What you do. He just wasn't himself in that second half, bro.
Pat wasn't himself, but man, Bieniemy. My problem with his play calling in that game was he wasn't running the ball. Like that was on
And
Bieniemy. He should have ran the ball, man.
here's
They
my
had
thing,
just go ahead.
and that's the thing with that. I feel like EB wants to run the ball. Like he's a former running back. He's a running back coach for numerous teams. Like I don't get how a running back coach would want to pass the ball like that in the second half. That's why I feel like a lot of that play call in the second half, I feel like it was Andy Reid because we done seen this numerous times from Andy Reid back in Philly when he had Brian Westbrook, Deuce Staley, Carell Buckhalter, you name it, in the backfield. And there was times in the NFC Championship games where Andy should have been running the ball, but he didn't. He tried to have McNabb bring it home with his arm. and it got predictable. And that's what you
And,
saw in this. And that's what you saw in this game.
and there was a rumor out there that was floated that Mike Kafka, was in charge of the pass plays. So
Yeah.
were we trying to put Kafka on display, which is cool? Were we trying to put him on display so he can do what he did and go to New York, or put him on display where he's going to be the OC next year? Was that a part of the puzzle too? Like, bro, we ain't gonna never get the truth. And this is why I tweeted that, bro. I think fans are entitled. I think we want to know everything. This is the age of social media, bro, where you gotta break everything down. You don't have to be aware of everything that goes on front, back of the camera, all that. We don't have to know all that, bro. You don't pay enough on your season tickets to know all that, bro. I'm sorry. I know you love your season ticket. I'm not talking to you, Boogie, specifically. I'm talking in general. Nobody pays enough season ticket money to be knowing all the plays. You feel me? The only person that need to know everything is Clark Hunt. At the end of the day, and his brothers and sisters, and whoever in charge of the team. It's not on you, fan. I don't need to tell you, fan. You just a fan. Be a fan, bro. I don't have to tell you what I did that for. Andy Reid could come out right now and say, yeah, we're moving on from Eric Bieniemy. See y'all next week. You don't have to explain why he's moving on from Eric Bieniemy. But as a fan, we got to know. We got to know.
But
yeah,
see,
we
to
lost
me,
that game.
that's
I
what
got to
makes
know
this.
why we lost that game. No, you don't.
That's what makes this what's the name even worse though. Because why couldn't they just let him leave without this type of smear campaign?
And that's my problem. That's the only problem I have with the article. Because I believe, and we've talked about, we've discussed on here and off here, I think Matt Nagy's going to be the new OC. Period. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to hire him within the next few weeks, next few days, next hour. Who cares? If you were already going to do that, it's no need to release this and make that man look bad on the way out, bro. That's the only disagreement I have. Some of it's true. It's a lot of information. Who knows whether it's 100% true? I don't think it's 100% true. It might be 70% true. But if the Chiefs already made their decision, and it sounds like they said it in the article, we going with Matt Nagy. Why wouldn't you let that man walk out with his head high? Now he got to walk out with that black crowd over his head, bro. And that's wrong. That's my problem with the thing. The timing of it, bro. We didn't have to know all this. You can see it. We can see it on the field. If you're a smart fan, you already knew what was going on. You can see it. You can see Pat wasn't playing like Pat. You can see the blow-ups on the sideline. Him and Travis got into it earlier this season. Him and Pat got into it. McCole and Tyreek got into it. It happens, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I agree with Boogie completely, bro. They did not have to what they call it, sully his name. No pun intended. They had to dirty his name on the way out. You feel me? Like it wasn't necessary, bro.
Yep, which on all that, man. So yeah, hold on. Go back to Big Spelly's comment.
That's another point.
Did eventually? Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I just felt like the opportunity presented itself when Dabo got hired to be the Giants head coach. They were still looking for an office coordinator. They still trying to rebuild their coaching staff because they had fired Jason Garrett in the middle of the season. So they needed an office coordinator, and the opportunity presented itself. And Mike Kafka is familiar with the division, so
I think it's weird because it seemed like he was a shoe-in to be offensive coordinator after Bieniemy's contract ran up. We said that all year.
They was grooming him for that.
We said that
was
all
the plan.
year. We knew he was going to be
was
the
the
guy.
plan.
Bieniemy didn't get re-signed, and he still left. As soon as he got the opportunity, he left.
Yeah, that's funny. But we thought not only Kafka was going to be the OC one day, possibly Kafka was going to be the man one day after Andy Reid stepped down. Not only was he going to be the OC, they was preparing him for the big seat.
So what that tell
But
you?
I think that what Kafka did was smart. He got from under this umbrella, and he go out there. If he go out there and make Daniel Jones a star, he's going to be a head coach somewhere
Yeah,
within
yeah,
the
I agree
next
with
2
that.
years, easily.
But man, that's a tall task with Daniel Jones, though. So
Hey, bro, that make it even better. If I can make Danny Dimes into a star,
you got a point. You got a point, brother.
hell,
But
I hire him if he make. I hire him then, sure. Yeah, bring him back,
but as
baby.
we wind this down, BNB said he was trying to get the ball more in Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's hands in the second half, rather than Jared McKinnon, in which I kind of disagree with that, to be honest, because McKinnon just added a little more pop to the offense during the postseason, but at the same time, Clyde did his thing too. But
I was
that needs
getting
to be
off
a
too,
Jared
though.
McKinnon game, huh?
Clyde was getting off too. Clyde was
I
what,
know, I know, I
6
said
yards
that.
per carry?
I know, I said that. But I feel like, but McKinnon brings a little more explosiveness to the offense. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, they go into that, and and of course after the game, whatever. Um, we're here now with Andy Reid and EB, meeting up and stuff, or they're gonna meet up to try to make this decision or whatever. Um, at the end of this article, it says that Eric Bieniemy has an image problem that he has to work on, and it says that but best for both parties to go separate ways. EB has to work on his temperament and all that. And to conclude the article, it says basically the lack of leadership and poor attitude led to the Chiefs coming up short this year. And that's
How
that's
did
basically the article.
this article contribute to his image?
Yeah,
You
yeah, they
just
brought
threw another pile of dirt on his image by releasing this article.
yeah they brought up his past, at Colorado with the criminal charges or whatever. You know what I
Which
mean?
wasn't no
Just
secret though. Everybody
right.
we know about that.
Yeah, it's
I think it was terrible timing. I think they was calling this meeting so Andy Reid can let this man walk out with his head up high and still looking like he's capable of doing what he's doing. He could go somewhere, get under another thing, and develop his own thing. He can get from under that umbrella, finally get some credit for what he was doing. But y'all just ruined that.
yep. And now that I've gone through this entire article, I gotta say this, man. What they did to Eric Bieniemy in this article was it's straight bullshit. I just gotta straight say that it's straight bullshit. It's straight bullshit how he was betrayed in this article, man. Like they made him out to be the scapegoat. Like it was just his fault only and him only. And like I mentioned earlier, we done seen this type of stuff with Andy Reid as in regards to his teams coming up short. Like we mentioned earlier, he doesn't run the ball enough. And even if you do get rid of Eric Bieniemy, you're gonna run into the same issues because at the end of the day, when Andy Reid's in a situation where he needs to run the ball, he's not gonna do it. And there's gonna be times when the team gonna come up short as a result of that. And I felt like Andy Reid showed a lack of leadership during that AFC Championship game, like you mentioned, Country. And I agree with you on that. Like he showed a lack of leadership. Like, dude, you're the head coach, man. Like, even if you got this contractual agreement with EB as far as like play calling stuff, you the head honcho. You have the power to overrule this type of stuff. You know what I mean? You have the power to change up a play if you feel like you don't like the call and stuff. You know what I mean? And as the head coach, you gotta show better leadership, man. That leadership was terrible, dude. Like I'm sorry. You gotta be a better example. You gotta show a better example of leadership moving forward, dude. Because if you're not gonna change your ways, man, you've been in the league for like 30 years, 30 plus years total between the assistant coach, quarterback coach, and head coach. Like you should know better by now. But you gonna continue to do the same things, man. You might as well retire, man. You might as well just go ahead and retire and just let somebody else take this thing over. You know?
I wouldn't go that far. Nah, but yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm
Nah,
just
you're
saying.
right. You're right.
And I also want to point this out. Tyreek Hill, he came out and said what he said about Eric Bieniemy. He said all these people clowning on EB's like he's one of the best coaches in the buildings. And Travis Kelce agreed and he retweeted his tweet. But I saw that Patrick Mahomes didn't retweet his tweet. I'm not gonna try to look into that deeply. You know what I mean? Because I do remember Travis Kelce interviewed Patrick Mahomes back in training camp. It was like a little fake interview, whatever. I guess they was taking a little break or something. And Travis Kelce asked him, like, if there was a best friend that you had to pick from this team, who would it be? And Patrick Mahomes said Eric Bieniemy. So I don't know what happened from that point on to during the season until now, but I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, I gotta say this about Patrick Mahomes, man, and some of these players in the NFL in general. Like I'm tired of the coddling. I'm tired of the coddling of these athletes today, man. Like, I feel like it just feels to me, it felt like Patrick Mahomes was having a hard time taking criticism at times, man. Because as great as Patrick has been, he's had a lot of success and everything. He's got out to a good start in his career. But that doesn't mean you're a finished product, my guy. Like, there are still some things that you need to work on. Like, you still got to work on being stronger in the pocket. Because in that AFC Championship game, you went back to trying to roll out and scramble and doing too much, man. Like there was times where you could have been stronger in the pocket, making some of those throws that you missed, and we could have been back in the Super Bowl. So you gotta take some blame too, my guy. You know what I mean? So you gotta get in the lab in the off season, work on being stronger in the pocket, and get back to being that leader that you was previously, man. Like at the end of the day, you can't let the little criticism or whatever went on in the locker room affect you all of a sudden in the middle of a game, especially in the AFC Championship game, a big game like that. That's a bad time for you to have your worst half of football in your NFL career. That was the worst time to have it, and you got to own it to that, my guy. So,
I have a point about that EB thing. It's like Jamal Charles did that interview on 810, and he said EB pushed him every day. Like he thought he hated him. He thought they were gonna go to blows one time. He say he tried to get him fired? I think he said he tried to get him fired. But he said at the end of the day, he wanted what was best for me, and he made me give my best. You know what I'm saying? So even I don't think Pat hate EB. It's nah, bro. We've seen too much footage over the years to feel like that. If that was all a front, then Pat need to get into acting too, because he's a hell of an actor. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. It's gonna be a situation. I think it's best for EB to leave, go find another job, finally get the credit that he deserves, and build his own thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We never gonna get over that loss. You know what I'm saying? But who at this point, bro? What are you gonna do? But Pat got to get stronger mentally, because if me yelling on you made you go out and lose the AFC title game, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because I'm not gonna stop yelling on you, because you got to get better. And you got to get better, bro. You know that. You the face of the league, bro. You can't rest on your laurels. And I think he got woke up this year because that was an embarrassing loss. In the biggest game, well, not the biggest game, but the second biggest game, and that was an embarrassing loss. So I think that Pat gonna be on this game next year, whether it's EB, whether it's Matt Nagy, whether it's Greg Lewis or whoever they want to bring in. Pat gonna be on this game next year, but they gotta fix that mental thing. He gotta get stronger at that, bro. You gotta be able to kill that outside noise as soon as you get on the field. That was what Michael Jordan said. My favorite place to be was on the court. That's the only time I had peace. That's the only time people want to ask for autographs and pictures and kiss my baby and all that stuff was on the court. So Pat needs to find that peace on the field. Should nothing affect that. You cut all that other stuff out. I don't care. Jackson doing TikToks on the top of the stadium. I don't care. And Brittany is throwing Cristal and Rose on all the fans. That shouldn't mean nothing to you on the field. That's cool. They act the fool out here in these streets. But on the field, that's on you, bro. Gotta be on you.
Yep.
Let's get into these games, man.
I feel like Boogie has something to say.
Go ahead, Boogie. I'm sorry.
Real quick.
No, I'm with you. I think it's best for Bieniemy to leave. I think it's best for both of us. I think Mahomes might be feeling some type of way that Nagy left. I mean, not Nagy. Kafka left though. I do think. I don't know if you said you don't think stars should be getting coddled like that, but you got to make sure he feel good at the end of the day. He is your $500 million guy, so you go make him feel good. I wonder if they get somebody now. Since they just had somebody that had the relationship with him, what type of coordinator are they going to bring in? We saying Nagy. Him and Nagy got a pretty good relationship, though, so hopefully that work out. But also, like you said, I think that the people that made that story about EB, what is it, Save Our Friend? What is it?
Chief Editorial Board, or what's the whole name?
It was Save Our Franchise, though, right?
It was Save Our Chiefs. It was Save Our Chiefs.
They have had some credible stuff back in the day, and I do remember that Willie Gay story.
Yeah,
when he got hurt, they done said a couple things, but
they was all over the Tyreek story too.
Yep. So they didn't have some shit,
way before people
would just throw them under the bus like that, but. I do think it kind of was a little smear campaign. I don't like how they with Bieniemy going through this stuff already. I don't like them coming out with that, but it is what it is, though.
They didn't put in some work though. They put in some good work for real. Shout out to them. You know, I didn't necessarily agree with all the timing and all that stuff, but they do put in some good work, bro. It's like. I ain't gonna throw them out. Yeah, like you said, not throwing them all the way under the bus.
Yeah, Dorian's not feeling that.
I know. But we talked about it.
But yeah, my thing is this, man. I just feel like in this current climate, man, they don't want the black coaches to be strong like that. You know what I mean? They want black coaches to be. They don't want black coaches to be docile. I just gonna say that real quick. Like they really trying to prevent. They really just trying to lessen that type of coach from our realm. You know what I mean? And like Tony Dungy, he brought this up in an article on Pro Football Talk. He was saying like how there needs to be changes in regards to the hiring process, and like and he was talking about how the ring rule needs adjustments and all that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're not gonna get an owner to change his mind on hiring a minority coach. But I feel like if you have a good enough resume, you know what you're doing, and you know football in general, I mean that should make you qualified enough to get hired. And another coach that was supposed to get hired, Byron Leftwich, he was supposed to get the Jaguars job, but he didn't because he wanted full control of his team. Like he wanted like his own GM and stuff. And I feel like this is the deal with Eric Bieniemy too, as far as like what he went through in the hiring process. It seems like it's an issue with black coaches when they want that control, but with the white coaches, it's okay for them to have that type of control. You know, it's like as far as like having their own GM and stuff like that. So, I just wanted to get that off real quick.
Hey, last point, we can move on. I'm over black coaches. I don't want no more black coaches. I don't care. I want black GMs, black front offices, black presidents, and black owners. Then the rest of that stuff will shake itself out. I'm over. We don't have enough black coaches. Hey, bro, the old guys, the old boy network, it's never gonna be fair, bro. It's never gonna be fair. We need to get in the real offices. In the front office, we need more black GMs, more minority coaches, more minority, Mark Donovan type guys. We need that type of. That's the only way you're going to change that. We need to look higher. We're looking too low. Our sights is too low. Coaches is too low. Coaches are replaceable every day. It was 9 coaches just got fired this season. So if we hired 9 black coaches and everybody be like, oh man, we got all the coaches, woo! And then all of them get fired in 3 years, who cares? We'd be right back where we started. We need more black owners, more black general managers, more black people in the front office. And I'm done. Let's go.
Well said, country. Straight up, man. I'm with you 100% on that, my brother.
Taylor, don't be starting. Don't talk about Jay-Z, just about Mitchell and Ness. I'm trying to get a jersey.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a power move. Was it him, Rich Paul, Mav Carter, and somebody else?
Like.
Yeah, I saw that. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
that move. So yeah, man, let's get to part 3 of this 2021 regular season recap. So week 9, we go up against the Packers at home. Now Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play this game. Then the NFL found out that, yeah, brother, you're not really immunized, man. You're not even vaccinated. So yeah.
Nah, he was immunized. He wasn't vaccinated.
Okay. I guess we'll stick with that. He's immunized.
I don't know what he was.
Yeah, you immunized, but that don't count, my brother. Sorry. But anyway, this was the debut of Jordan Love. Somehow his parents were sitting way up high on the upper deck, like the very last row, man. That was crazy.
I forgot about that. That is not the Chiefs' fault. That is the Packers' fault. That is not the Chiefs. Everybody was playing with the Chiefs like that was dirty.
That was the Snead game, right? When he had that play against Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Snead had a big game.
He had two big plays.
Yeah. And also the debut of Melvin Ingram. Melvin Ingram's first game as Kansas City Chief. He got in there.
Okay.
Yep. He got in there. He got in there in his limited snaps and made a few plays. I know early on he got a sack on Jordan Love. And then on the first offensive drive, first 15 plays, you know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, they doing their thing. They got one of the strongest Wi-Fi's in the league still. Kelce got a touchdown to start it off. But I know throughout the course of the game, there was instances where the Packers did get near the red zone, but the execution just wasn't there because, like, Spagnuolo just sent the house on Jordan Love, man. Like, he was making sure Jordan Love wasn't going to get comfortable at all. And then, like, when they got in field goal range on their second possession, Crosby missed the field goal. And I just want to talk about how Crosby been on the decline as a kicker. It might be time for him to hang it up. So
he had a good career.
Yeah, definitely had a nice career.
A long one.
This the first game the defense turned around too, though, right?
I was just gonna say, was this the defense coming out party game?
Yep. Even though a lot of people discredit this victory just because Aaron Rodgers wasn't out there, but at the same time, the Packers defense, they played pretty well too after the first drive that we have. So, but I saw, but like you said, I saw Snead making plays. Tyrann Mathieu made a few plays in this game. Everybody was doing their part, man. Like, Devontae Adams, he had a few catches, but he didn't really have no big plays. You know what I mean? We kept this big plays down to a minimum. So shout out to the defense on their performance. And also, like, the special teams got a field goal block in this game. Just to damn, I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say.
No, it's all good. No, but this is the defense coming out party, man. They held them down, and a lot of people say
insult the injury. That's what I was trying to get to.
Not
to put insult the injury.
And a lot of people say, well, Jordan Love was playing, but the year prior, when we played Green Bay and Pat wasn't playing, defense showed up that day too. Now, Aaron Rodgers went Aaron Rodgers and had some. I mean, ain't nothing you can do about that. But they did play him tough for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So that's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. And at that point, it wasn't a guarantee we were going to beat Green Bay, even if they had Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hell of a win for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the offense is still struggling at the time, and and like you said, even with Jordan Love out there, the Packers they can still win it with they could have won this game. They could have won this game with their defense. You know what I mean? They could have got a fumble recovery for a touchdown or a pick six at some point in this game because it was just that close. It was tight throughout the entire game. Like there was a one point in this game where you felt like the Chiefs had the game in the bag until Patrick Mahomes made a key sideline throw to Tyreek Hill to close it out.
Oh, the throw. We got to bring up the
Yeah,
throw.
yeah. So
Pat,
I think.
late in the game, we needed first down to like run the clock.
Hmm.
Pat did the scramble drill type thing, fires out a pass, Tyreek Hill, and
Hmm.
and just all the emotion of Patrick Mahomes came out. He was jumping and kicking and flipping. He was looking like Jackson Mahomes doing TikTok dances all on the field, and everybody was like, "Yo, that was the throw. He good now. He fixed."
That's what
And
everybody
we'll
thought.
see. Yeah, that's what everybody thought.
Right. We thought
For a
we reached
couple
that
weeks, it
point.
was true though. For a few times, it was true. But so that was the biggest. That was the biggest thing that come out of the Green Bay game was the play of the defense and that throw at the end where Patrick Mahomes looked like he had shaked the demon off. What's our record
Yep.
now?
Let's see. Our record is now
6-4,
5-4.
5-4. Okay.
Yep. All right. So the next game, we go to Vegas, and that's when and that's when Patrick Mahomes finally caught on fire, man. That's the game we felt like, okay, he's back, he's fixed now. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's get on this run. So, from the start to finish, man, like this
Annihilation.
they
No.
just they
Wait
put
a
on a
minute. Wait
clinic.
a minute, Chuck. Wait a minute, Chuck. This is the game where the Raiders came on our logo
Yeah.
and had a
No, that was the next game.
oh, that was the
That was the
next
next
one?
That
Raider
was
game.
the second one?
No, this is the Sunday night joint in
Oh, okay,
Vegas.
okay. I'm sorry. We'll get to the next one. Never mind. Yeah, this
Yeah,
was the annihilation from start to finish. I don't even know why. Yeah, we can move on.
Both
yeah.
guys.
But Daryl Williams, man, Daryl Williams had a hell of a game here too, and I remember he snatched on Jonathan Abrams so bad, dog.
Yeah.
Like
That was a crazy catch. You're right.
that was
Yeah.
a you got mossed for sure.
That
Yeah,
was
That was a
crazy.
you got mossed.
that was the icing
By the
on the
running
cake.
back.
Bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was the icing on the cake. It was over after that. It really was over after that.
Yeah, and I love just for the record, I love when the Chiefs play against Jonathan Abram. I love when we pick on Jonathan Abram, man. That
Yeah.
dude he's such a crash test dummy, man.
Yeah.
Like he's easily vulnerable out there. You
He
know what I
thinks
mean? So
he a lot better than he really is.
Fake ass Bob Sanders.
yeah, right. Fake ass Steve Atwater. I'm like, boy, stop.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
I'm just saying. But
What
you
we
saw
beat
from
them
the
49 or something like that, wasn't it? Something like that, 42-9?
it was 41-14.
41-14. Okay.
Yep, man. 40 burgers, man. You know, Patrick from the
Yeah.
jump. Patrick from the jump, man. Finding Travis Kelsey early, per usual. You know, hitting his check downs. Like Daryl Williams was involved quite a bit in the screen game in this game. He was getting fed a lot, you know, coming out the backfield. And he was finishing off runs pretty well too. Like he was hard to bring down. So this was just the clinic, man. Like the operation was just clean, man. Like you hardly saw any hiccups whenever the Chiefs had the ball on offense.
Was this
So
the our Grady's game? Because he was going against Crosby. Remember, we thought Crosby was gonna have a hell of a game. Ain't this the first
Yeah.
game the game didn't play?
Yeah,
yep,
Niang was out. Yeah, this
yeah,
was
Niang was out.
Wiley.
Because we thought he
A
was gonna get
lot of
killed by
chipping on
Crosby.
a lot of chipping with Blake Bell and Tony Gonzalez. Travis Kelce. It was I'm tripping. So it was Max Crosby. He did his thing, but he wasn't as effective as he normally is. So that was
Right. We did a
bananas.
good job. We did a good job against him. And th-
Twice.
and then and then like defense did that thing. Derek Carr. I mean, besides the only time Derek Carr got off against us a little bit was that pandemic year. Other than that, he hadn't done squat against us, man. Like we just owned the dude. We just flat out owned the dude. So
Victory lap.
shout out to Nip.
Rest in peace, Nick. What was the next game? We are
All right, so
7-4 at this time.
we 6-4 now.
6 and
So
4.
the yep,
Dallas.
Dallas, and
Dallas.
we had Jay Tuck and Dia Wall on for our shows.
One of
But
our
those were
biggest
some,
shows at the time, too.
Loved it.
yeah, man. Dia had a lot of great energy. Both shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Jay Tuck did his thing too, though, man. Jay Tuck's very knowledgeable Cowboys fan. Actually they both very knowledgeable Cowboys fans. So shout out to them. But anyway, a lot of people was expecting a shootout, and we didn't get that. We got some good defensive performances. Chris Jones had his coming out party. He had 3.5 sacks, and then Micah Parsons on the Cowboys end. He proved why he was the best defensive rookie in the league this year. He had I think he had 2 sacks and a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. So he was balling himself. And we all was in agreement, like, look, we gotta chip this dude. We can't let this dude impact the game. But like Dia said that he was gonna impact the game in some type of way, and he did. So I know the defense, we balled out and everything, but once again the offense went back to sputtering a bit. You know, um, even after and this was a game that Amari Cooper didn't play either. So this is
Yeah,
another
COVID, yeah.
so this is another player that we somehow avoid. Another key player we somehow avoid. So besides that, man, I know like right before the end of the half, CD Lamb,
Yeah.
he tried to come down, try to snatch over Travarius Ward, but Ward got the interception. He came down hard, his head slammed on the turf pretty hard, and he was out for the rest of the game. But this was
We had
also the
that big
game.
conversation
Yeah.
about Dak Prescott this episode, too.
Yeah.
The real big. That was a long one, spirited conversation right there. He
Yep, it
still
sure
ain't
was.
won that big game either.
Man,
Sorry, dear. I'm
unfortunate.
sorry.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
And this is the game where Clyde Edwards-Helaire returned. Clyde was limited in snaps, but he found his ways to the end zone, and he ran pretty hard when he scored too. Like he showed excellent power and everything. So, and then like but that was actually the second touchdown. The first touchdown was Travis Kelce. When Travis Kelce it was like some type of I think it was, I don't know if it was Wildcat or it was some type of I forgot what the formation was. But anyway, he took the snap. And he ran it in. So, Travis Kelce showed some great vision and got in the end zone. It looked like he was gonna take over this joint though and just run away with it, but we stalled. But somehow the defense just played their ass off from start to finish.
Yeah. This was
And
the
didn't really
first game
affect us.
we was like defense. Because remember we were saying the defense was playing against some bad. We was talking about Love and we was talking about the Raiders. So we didn't really know how good the defense was. This was one of the best offenses.
They was the number one offense, as a matter of
Number one
fact, heading into
offense.
that game.
So even with the injuries and all that, this was still a big game for our defense. This is when we first started thinking our defense might be serious.
Yeah, they did. Defense definitely was the MVP of this game, easily. Like, they definitely came to play. It was a good game. It could have been. We got out the blocks, and then it just kind of got bad. But it was a good win. It definitely was a good win because Dallas came in hot. They were the number one team and number one offense, and they looked like they was well on this way. And this is kind of
But what killed me with Dallas is that they went away from the run, and they didn't really need to. Like they was still in the ball game. They was playing like they was down double digits pretty much the entire game. Just leaving the ball in Dak's hands like that, and you got two good running backs. You got one of the best backfields in the league, and you hardly ran the ball that game. So that was a bad game plan from Dallas offensively.
Dak ain't
But
ready, bro.
Both.
yeah, yeah, there's questions going on with Dallas, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on with Dallas. Dallas, y'all can send us Gallup though for the cheap. Thank you, appreciate it.
I'll take Lawrence.
I'll take Lawrence too, shoot, for the low.
Now, Lawrence,
For
man, I don't
the
want him. I don't want Lawrence, man. I think Lawrence is a little overrated, man. That's just me, in my
okay, we'll
opinion.
get to it on the free agent show.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So the
Oh, oh,
Kingdom
oh,
is we feeling much better. We still got questions about the offense, but the
but hold,
defense is definitely showing up at this point.
yeah, but hold on a sec. Besides defense, though, before I move on, we're not gonna talk about Rashawn Fenton. Hey, what he did after he got a penalty
Oh
Oh, was
man,
on
this
that
that
the
punt
was
little
return.
insane.
He let the chopper spray.
Hey,
Fenton was going hard.
Sleep was childish for that, bro. The meme that keeps on memeing, bro.
Yeah, that's classic.
Right.
That's a classic one right there. Let
Kyle,
it go.
no. Kyle, no. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a list and I'm gonna do a space in regards to it, okay? Because I did not say Aaron Donald was overrated. I simply said Aaron Donald's not a top 5 defensive player all time. That's all I said. And people are treating it like a crime. But well, I'm gonna get to that. Y'all see it. You'll see it. But anyway, continue, country.
No, I'm trying to just gauge the mood of the kingdom at the time that what I'm saying everybody was feeling it was a 180-degree turn on the defense and offense was still kind of slow, but it was getting there. It was a much lighter atmosphere because it was tense going into that week. It was at the point where that week we literally had to win all three of those games to have any hope of making the playoffs, and or we had to win at least two of those games. So for us to win all three, we needed all three of those wins, and definitely. So it looks like the Chiefs are turning it around. There's still some hiccups, but they're getting it together. And then this next stretch, they really gonna put it together. But it was a good stretch. This was better. The last stretch, woo, it was bad. That 4 through 8 was terrible. But this stretch right here restored a lot of confidence in the fans, and we got everybody in the back. We still had some kinks to work out, but it was improvement. We could see flashes.
Yep. And now we're coming to the bye week, week 12. You know what I mean? The Chiefs, they're sitting at 7-4. And then we go into this next game with the Denver Broncos. So we're at home, Sunday night football. I think we was a huge favorite. Like we was favored to just smack the heck out of Denver. But with Vic Fangio during his time at Denver, his defenses that usually come to play against us, and that was another case here. Even though we knew that our defense could shut down their offense, Denver actually ran the ball well against us in this game. Javonte Williams had
Javante was
himself a
killing, man.
he
He
had
was
himself a night.
killing, man.
He had himself a night, man. But whenever Denver needed to pass, man, either Teddy Bridgewater got sacked or it was a bunch of short gains. Like they didn't really get anything going.
Did he finish the
But
game?
um,
Did Drew Lock come in, or was that the second game?
I I
Second
think
That
Drew
was the
game.
Lock.
second time. Never mind.
Yeah, that
You
was the
right.
second time. Yeah, but anyway, and in the beginning, once again, what I mean, Patrick Mahomes, what I mean, the Chiefs, they driving down the field once again, getting out to a fast start. But then all of a sudden, we get this whole offensive pass interference from Travis Kelce and stuff to kind of stall the drive a little bit. But then we try to get things back together, back rolling and everything. So we get within score range. Tyreek Hill continuing to destroy Denver like he usually does. Um, Denver. It's like every time we play Denver, Denver usually does not have an answer for Tyreek Hill. And
Or
even
Kelsey.
though, yeah, Kelsey get his too, but like more so Tyreek, man. And this time, Chris Harris is not in the picture anymore. Because usually when we play Denver, Chris Harris usually gets picked on because he be lined up on Tyreek's side a lot of times. But besides that, Patrick Mahomes, he runs it in on the first touchdown. You know what I mean? He wipes himself off and all that. But just throughout the course of the game, man, everybody on this Chiefs defensive line ate, man. Jaron Reed ate. Chris Jones had himself a game. Frank Clark, he had himself a decent game. Everybody got theirs, man. And and this is the game that also, and remember how we were saying like we needed Clyde Edwards-Helaire to start getting involved more in the passing game and start hitting him on these screens more often. This is the game when the Chiefs started to use them a little more in the screen game, man. We was getting good results out of that. It's just that at some point in this game, unfortunately, we stalled. We went back to stalling a little bit once again. And this goes back to what we mentioned earlier when heck, I think this is when the Chiefs had the game wrapped up and Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy got into it on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about call the effing play or I will. Mahomes said to Eric Bieniemy. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, the Chiefs did what they had. They did what they needed to do. They took care of business. So
From
Yeah,
where
like
we started, bro, from where we started to end up at this point, 8-4 was a miracle, bro, because it was looking bad. It was looking bad.
and like you said, how we did it, because the D line finally, this is when the D line finally started playing like they were supposed to. We was going into the season talking about it was a top 10 D line. They didn't live up to expectations. But when Melvin Ingram came, Frank Clark got a little more healthier, got that core stuff out the way. D line was picking up, defense picked up. We start winning.
and I also remember this is the game where I really got sick and that was the time where I couldn't do any episodes for a while because I remember watching this game from my bed and after the game that's when I had to go to the hospital.
Is this where
Ingram was
Kylie
I was
out.
came?
really Yeah, Kylie. Yeah, because Kylie got on and made her debut the next day.
Cool.
And I was checking you guys out or whatever. But yeah, that's when I was not in my. That's what I was. When I wasn't in a good state of health. So
IR designated to return.
Yeah, you scared us, man. We
hell,
didn't
I
know
was
what was
scared
going on.
too. I was
We didn't know
scared
what
too,
was
man.
going on.
It was crazy. It was crazy
That was one
times,
of them
man.
shows me and Boogie had to do by ourselves, wasn't it? It was a strange time, bro. You missed what the next 3 shows, didn't you?
Hell,
Yeah.
that's it.
You missed more than that. It might have been 5 shows, something like that.
Pre and post, so that's really like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I wasn't around for this game. I wasn't around for the second Raiders matchup, but I came back when we played the Chargers
Yeah, 5
What
that
episodes.
Thursday night.
and what a show it was.
Oh, guys, yeah, we'll
That
get
was
into that.
a
We'll
Hey,
get
but
to it on the next episode.
we brought Kylie in. Kylie was supposed to be like a fill-in type of thing, but with you being sick, we had to kind of rush that. I kind of rushed it, you know what I'm saying, my bad and all that. But we kind of had to rush Kylie on the show, but she's been an awesome addition to the show, like, and she's doing
Outstanding.
outstanding. She's doing her thing, bro. She's really putting herself. Kylie had like 500 followers when she started. Now she got more than Boogie.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Yeah,
And she
yeah,
creeping on me. Charles is killing all of us, but she creeping up, man. She's been an awesome addition to the show, man. We definitely appreciate it. We definitely grateful for her, you know what I'm saying? And we definitely grateful that Charles got healthy and came back because it was a little rocky there, man, like for real. So it was a good time. It was a good moment for us too. Like the Chiefs were on the incline and our show was on the incline too, man. So it's good to remember that and appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. I just want to say this about Kylie. Kylie, she's just tremendous, yo. She about to reach 3K on her followers. Everybody likes what she has to say. I see her comment getting retweeted like quite a bit. So, a lot of people Chiefs gonna love what she got to say, man. And she's definitely been a great addition to the team, and she's
She
helped me
is
out quite
so
often too. Yeah, she helped me out quite often because I forget because I put the onus on myself because I completely forgot that we had an Instagram page and I somehow abandoned it. So I'll take the onus on that. But she done a great job of holding down the IG page and you know just tremendous, man. You know what I mean? And whenever she gets on the show, she brings great insight. So
she
beauty and
gonna
brains
cry
all
when
in one, man.
she gonna cry when she see this. I'm surprised she ain't. Well, she out of town, but normally she would be in the chat if she wasn't on the show. So
Yeah, man, she out kicking it for the time being, but she'll get to the show.
Drink
she'll
one
get
for
to
me.
it. Huh?
I said, drink one for me, Kylie.
Oh, she gonna drink it. I like drunk Kylie is funny. I don't know. Y'all might never see drunk Kylie is funny as
Oh man, oh man, understatement, understatement for
hell.
sure.
Yeah. She's fun, but nah, man, hell of a season, man. That it was starting to turn around, bro. It was some light at the end of the tunnel because it was dark. You know what I'm saying? It was dark for the show too because we had lost you. We didn't know what was going on or how we was gonna move through that. And then Kylie came through and blessed us, and we kept marching on. You know what I'm saying? So this next 4 games gonna get interesting in
Yeah,
the
cause
show.
yeah, cause the next four we was still rolling, but then we got a little hiccup, and unfortunately we
Yeah.
got to get to that.
Who that?
Yeah.
Yo, Boogie, take us out, man.
All right, go Chiefs. See y'all next week. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Like,
Yes, sir. Yes,
subscribe,
sir.
share. If you don't, we kicking you out of the game like Pat did Brittany.
Oh my goodness, man. Anyway,
Edit
anyway,
that out, bro. Edit that out.
anyway. Rest in peace to Therese Paler. Another
Always.
episode. Another episode of Kingdom Cast in the books. We out of here, y'all.
Hey.